hat campus mamure mu class njure kagwa murakora ki ko mutine madrasa njura yagwa murakora ki wese muraza mu kashonda mpaka njure hire hata njura nkayagwa mureki gakora mu kashonda then mpaka njura class mugarice cyo mushitama. This source of water is for teachers. And again, if they want to eat lunch, actually I didn't ask them if they prepare for them lunch or they carry food from home, but for us we used to carry food from home. So what they do, when it's time for lunch, they come and wash their hands from here before they eat. That is very nice, something very good. I was actually very happy that the school tries to mind about the hygiene of the pupils, because before a child eats, at least they must first, wash their hands and eat. But now I ask them, now what happens after you have visited the toilet or the latrine? Do you have any source of water where you people wash your hands? They told me no. They said after visiting the... Hello guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you guys are doing fine. I hope you guys are doing well. I know you're wondering where I am. Okay, listen. I'm actually in one of the biggest districts in Uganda. That is Isingiro District. It is in southwestern Uganda. Okay, and something has caught my attention. I felt like I should actually share this with you. As you can see, I'm inside one of the classrooms because right now I'm standing in one of the primary schools in Isingiro District. The school is called Chi Primary School. I don't know if I was supposed to mention the school or something, but I know it's okay. Now, I'm inside the school, okay? I hope you can see. This is a classroom. These are the charts, as you can see. Physical features in Africa. I think that is SST. They show you the Atlantic Ocean. They show you the Congo Basin, the Indian Ocean. They show you everything. The map showing major lakes and rivers of Africa. And here they said about the human eye. This is, I think, science or biology or something, and also the lens camera. Now, why am I here? Today I'm not showing my face because my camera won't be able to show me and also show the back side of it. But we shall actually go, the way it goes. Now, I don't know what this is, but I think it's a kidney or something. Yeah, this is the right kidney, left kidney, urinary bladder. Now, surprisingly, these are the things they teach in schools here in our country, Uganda. But one thing that has caught my attention is how the school looks like. I'm not saying the school is bad or something, because I understand this same school, people have gone through this school, have become, a lot of, big people in the country, big leaders in Africa and also in Uganda. This is a chalkboard. If you're wondering, in case you're not from Africa or Uganda, this is a chalkboard. I think that was this was the English lesson, So I don't know which class is this. Probably I will move out and show you. But surprisingly, these are schools which produce African leaders. In case you didn't know, these are schools which produce African leaders. I want to be taking you outside, okay, so that we can see what really happens, how the school looks like. And whatever you will see in this video, just know it is not a mistake. That's how most of the African schools are, especially our government schools, because as you can know, in Africa we have different types of schools. We have those schools which are funded by the government, what we can call government funded schools. Sometimes we call them government aided schools. And then we also have schools which are privately owned. For example, someone can say, I want to be starting a school, and if they have the money, they can actually set a school, be a primary school, be a secondary school. They can set a primary school, and also, they own a school. But now, this school where I'm standing right now, this is a government school. I want to be taking you to, before we start even the tour, I want to be taking you, I see a signpost over there. Probably it is talking about the school. We can actually get more information about the school. But did you know that these are type of schools which produce these biggest African leaders we have? Most of the biggest presidents we have, our ministers, our members of parliament, surprisingly, they have gone through such type of schools. Okay, we shall talk about the buildings later, but let's first go and see this signpost here. Probably we can get to know more about the school. But I've been told the school is called Chi Primary School. So I want to be sure first, then we can probably do so. And there is a signpost down there. I don't know if we shall go there if time allows. But this is Chi Primary School, okay? Chi Primary School, Uganda multi-sectorial food security and nutritional project, main garden funded. I don't know, probably they're talking about a garden or something. But now, such type of schools, there are schools we have in Africa. Okay, let me not talk about Africa because I've not been to many African countries, but I would purposely specifically talk about Uganda because this is where I am. Okay, now this is a whole primary school. Now when I say a primary school, in case you guys don't know what a primary school is, in Uganda we have education system which runs from primary level to university level. Now what do I mean? There's what we call a primary one. Now primary one is the starting point. When a child reaches 5 years or probably 6 years, they will start primary 1, then they go to primary 2, primary 3, primary 4, primary 5, primary 6, and then primary 7. That is the first level of education. Now, when they finish primary 7, they can choose to stop from there. They can choose to go to a vocational college. They can choose to go to the secondary school now, which is the lower secondary school, which runs from senior 1 up to senior 4. Now, when they finish 4 years of secondary, that is lower secondary education from senior up to senior 4. Now, they can choose to branch. Okay, probably they go to a polytechnic. They can join a technical school. They can join a vocational college, they can join, anything, or they can choose to go to the higher education level, which is the one we call advanced level. That is senior 5 and senior 6. Okay, that's the highest level of education as far as secondary is concerned. Now when they finish that, they can also probably choose to stop from there. They can also branch, or they can choose to go to the university and also study 3 or 5 years. Now that is the education system we have in Africa, in Uganda. Now as you can see, they are saying this school is supported by USAID, Integrated Child and Youth Development, meaning this is a government school. Okay, such type of schools are funded by the government. The teachers are paid by the government. The buildings or the classrooms are built by the government. Everything here is funded by the government. But parents, they are also asked to pay some little money, to probably fund a few things which the government cannot fund. For example, there are teachers you'll find they are not on the government payroll. Probably they are being paid by the teachers. So the school administration will say, okay, as a parent, you can pay probably like 50,000 or 100,000. It depends on the administration of the school, so that we can also pay those teachers who are not on the government payroll, or we can probably, pay a few things which the government cannot manage to pay. Okay, so this school, for example, has 3 classrooms or 3 blocks. That is the first block. We're going to be visiting those blocks because I have something I want to say about these schools. And then we have another one. That's another block over there. And then we have this block here. Okay, so basically there are 3 blocks. That is the first block, that is the second block, and we also have the third block. So that means these 3 blocks, they must accommodate pupils or students from primary 1 up to primary 7, because you are supposed to have 7 classrooms. I don't know if the school has a nursery section or not, but what I know, the school must accommodate students or pupils from the first primary to the 7th primary class. Okay, now why am I doing this video? I want to be telling you that these are type of schools, these schools you see. I understand some people they didn't go through these such type of schools, but I personally, I got a chance to go through such a school, the ones we call government schools. Even in secondary, we have secondary schools, because the government has, we call they call it universal primary education. So I personally got a chance to go through such a school, not specifically this school, but I went through a school which kind of looks like this, similarly looks like this, okay, for my primary. And I want to tell you that these are type of schools, these are schools which produce African leaders, the ministers we have in our countries or here in the country, the members of parliament, the district leaders, people who work in ministries, people who work in government agencies. Most of them, they went through such type of schools. Apart from the few who were privileged and they got a chance to go through the private schools, because really private schools are always better than this, since they are always funded by individuals, not the government. But one thing I ask myself is, why would the government have such a school? Okay, I'm not saying the government is not doing something. No, the government is doing something, but such a school, I understand there are people who have gone through this same school. Okay, I'm not attacking the school, but I'm trying to show you reality so that we can know what really happens, because my channel is about showing you what really takes place in Africa. So this is one of the classrooms, and as you can see, this is the furniture. Okay, we call them desks. I don't know if that's how you call them, but we call them desks, you know. So I'm imagining if, for example, this class is probably maybe like primary 5 or primary 6, or I don't know, but I don't know if the students will be able to fit here. And as you can see, even some of this furniture is not, you can even see the condition, how the furniture look, how the desks, you know, you can see. You can easily tell, for example, a desk like this one, I'm very sure it has been here for some years and for some good time, you know. So if you try to shake it, you can feel. Now, these are type of the schools we have in Africa. These are schools that have produced African leaders, that have produced presidents, that have produced ministers, that have produced, you know, big people in the country. I'm not trying to brag. I'm not trying to say, okay, I'm proud of such schools, because now you can see, for example, I'll take you out, but right about now I'm inside the classroom. As you can see, this classroom has no door. That's the first. It has no windows. Okay. I hope you guys, maybe you'll think I'm kidding. You know, let me extend here. This is the main entrance. As you can see, I'm inside the classroom. This is the chalkboard. These are the charts, for example. You know, I don't know which class is this, but I guess this is, you know, probably like P3 or P4 according to the charts I'm seeing here. So that is the entrance. That is the entrance, okay? Now, these are windows. But now, as you can see, there is no door over there. We don't have windows. And if you are very keen and very close, you can actually see, you know, even the roofing is, I don't know if it is complete or something. And you cannot lie to me that this classroom has not been here for years. It's not that this classroom was built yesterday or the other week. No, the classroom has been here for so many years. You know, you can even see it. But now the government is not, you know, I don't know. You guys, I'm not trying to attack some people here, but I'm trying to show reality. That's a door over there. There is no door. That's a window. There is no window. There are only holes. What am I saying? Now, I'm pretty sure if, for example, it is around noon, or I don't know, if, for example, the sun is over there, a student who is seated here would not be able to concentrate, because the sun will actually be hitting that person directly. Now, I'm imagining what happens, for example, during that, if, for example, there is a thunderstorm, if, for example, it's a rainy season, if, for example, it's a rainy season and it rains, now a student who is seated here, for example, a student who is seated there, how would they manage? Because if it is raining, that means the rain will automatically be hitting the student, because there is no window, there is no window here, there is no door there. The same thing, there is no window there, there is no window there, there is no window there. So if a teacher is in class, for example, and a thunderstorm comes, or maybe it starts raining, how will the teacher handle the lesson? You understand? These are the things we need to talk about as Africans. These are things we must change as Africans, because our governments have a lot of money. I'm not trying to attack the government, but the government has a lot of money. I'm telling you, our governments have a lot of money. Our governments have a lot of money. But now if you can imagine, if the government cannot, you know, how much is a window, for example? No, let's be honest. How much is a window to fix here? How much is a window to fix there? How much is a window to fix on that door? How much is a window to fix here? If me, I can buy windows for my house, how about a government? Why can't you buy windows? Fix. Okay. Forgive me, okay? Look at the floor. According to what I see here, this school, as you can see, this is the floor where I'm standing, as you guys can see. And this floor is very dusty. Now, what the students do, or what the pupils do, they will be sent to go somewhere and collect cow dung, okay? Now, when they bring cow dung, it is the one they use to smear. We call it smearing. In our language, we call it okumala. And me personally, I also did this. I'm telling you, I also did this. Because like I told you, for my primary, I went through a government school. So I know the hustle. I know the challenges. I know every challenge a pupil or a child goes through. Because like every Friday, we used to go collect cow dung from people's farms so that we can come and smear the class, so that we can actually reduce on the dust. Okay? And do you know that even most of the children who study from such schools, they don't even wear shoes. They come barefooted because their parents cannot even manage to buy for them a pair of shoes. So the student will come when they are barefooted, And imagine if a child, for example, is barefooted and they come to such a class, for example, that clearly shows you what will happen. So the reason I'm showing you this type of environment, I want to be showing you what Africans go through. A few privileged Africans will actually get a chance. Now look at this, for example. Today it's a Sunday, so it's a weekend. That's why you see the school is empty. So according to what I see, according to my observation, on Friday, before the students left, they had to smear the classroom, because if you can even look at this cow dung is still fresh. Okay, so that means they told them on Friday you have to smear your classroom so that when you come on Monday, the cow dung will have dried up, and then we can, be in a very good class. That's why you see even there is no furniture, because you have to take the furniture outside and then you smear the classroom, the floor, so that by the time you come on Monday there is no dust. So if the pupils come on Monday, they'll probably use the class when it is okay. Now, by the time it cracks Friday, there will be a lot of dust. So they will still do the same, They will go to people's farms, collect firewood, they collect cow dung, they come and smear their classrooms so that they can reduce on the dust. But now let me ask. I'm pretty sure this school has produced a lot of people. I'm telling you, big people in the government. But no one can even say, okay, since we went through Chihi Primary School, because that's the name of the school, let's at least let's go back and do something about the class, okay? Probably we can work on the floor, or you can probably work on because almost, you see, this is another class. Let me stand over there, I show you. Because this whole block, as you can see, I don't know how many classrooms it accommodates, but that is the first classroom over there. That is the second classroom, that's a third classroom. So there are 3 classrooms. This block actually has, because that is the first classroom there, that one there, that is the second classroom, and this is the third classroom. But if you're very careful, you cannot, there is no window, there is no door. You see? No window, no door. This is the front part of the classroom. Even when you go to the back side, as you can even see it from here, there is no window, there is no door. This is one of the classroom. Now the second classroom is over there, but still there is no window, there is no door. Now this is another block also, as you can see. It only has one door, and I guess probably this is maybe the headmaster's office, or maybe this is the staff room, or I don't know, maybe a store or something. I want to be asking these people. Let me ask this. Hey, Morije, numshomera aha ejeje n'ikino office eje na office ne yabashomesa kandi ekibina ne kyakanga eje mpani P3 jonyore cheture mpwize hata jimpani P3 eje ni P3 kandi riye ndijo so rero kubanza ni P1 eje ni P2 then eje ni P3 then eje ni office ya headmaster ninga ne yabashomesa abashomesa niyo mwene staff room nimumora babari cyo yijatsire kandi office ya headmaster inka
ya headmaster
narakira kubari hato mhararira mabashomesa
ararira mabashomesa kuri ya headmaster nararira we
ayito gamba munonga kuntarahurira oriyo mukiga hateje mpaha
mfana iba tichabararira kuri ya headmaster
hata shomesa bagaba bashitamye umumpaha hati warashomeka kanga
ndashoma pitu
hati warashomeranga class yawe ne cyo tugenda nyoreke class hati warashoma pitu. So guys, now what this guy is telling me, what the child is telling me, kanyije nyoreke. So what the kid has just told me, the kid is saying this one over here, this is the teacher's staff room. Okay, so the teachers sit here, they have their lunch from here, I knew that's why there is a door here. Okay, now surprisingly, the teachers, for them, they have a window, they have a door, that's the room, I guess it is clean. But now if you look at where our children come and study from, there is no window, there is no door. But for the teachers, they have a door. Even the door is locked, they have a window, they have everything. So the kid is telling me this is P3, primary 3 classroom, that is primary 2 classroom, and that one over there, it is primary 1. So you should check class here. Hati warashomero mumpa. Hey, ejiniyo yao. Hey. muri mu cyumuro ninga iti ticyumuro so razagaruka mande ragaruka. How are you? Hati how murakora shikamutine simit maramara numukora muta
Nikuronda amashetu.
gamba mnonga mpuri
Nikuronda amashetu katani.
amashana mugiya
Turaronda turagiye nko mu binende.
abinente hati no haraba tuma amasha no haraga batuma
Head
teacher ajya mugene muronda amasha tarabagambira yimuragiye
Nite turahera.
niyo maramanya yimuragiye aiga kubururagiye
Turija tusijisita.
hati muramara dekaish muramara buru cyakanga burwa mukaga kashira mukaga muramara hano kanyangu mushoma kurugamande mpaka urakata
turija ngano nk'abazire bitu nabwibarije burwa mukaga turija nabo
barabije hano kora cyabazire cyayije ture baraba ari mu rukiko. So what the kid is telling me, they always smear their classrooms every Saturday, not Friday as I had said. They always come every Saturday. So this is P2, P3. This, do you know English? Do you know English? You don't know. Hata barabeje samuri nyankore iningo mu rujungu. Ayi mwene why don't I want you to taramanya rujungu. Taramanya. Nabo jiri aikori mu cya kabiri. You're in P2, you're not even in P1. You're supposed to know some English. So here you smear every Rwamkaga. Rwamkaga na muramara. Hey. Hat campus. Mamure mu class njure kagwa murakora ki? Kumutine madrasa. Njura yagwa murakora ki wese?
turaza mu gashonda.
Muraza mu kashonda. Mpaka njure hire. Hata njura nkayagwa mureki gakora mu kashonda. Then mpaka njura kerasye mugarice cyo mushitama. Hata mizi muragiye. You come. So now, guys, the situation is alarming, and this is not only this school. You know, I'm not trying to shame our country or something, but I'm trying to show reality to the people. Now, what the kids are telling me is, when it rains, for example, like I had said, because you guys, you can see those classrooms over there, they have no windows, they have no doors. So when it rains, this is what happens. These kids are forced to go to a certain corner. For example, they tell them to go to a corner. I think inside their classroom, they go to a corner where there is no rain. And once it stops raining, then they can probably, get back to normal, and the classes can resume. Hati ria toi naya bashomesa. Naya bashomesa. Hati mwezanyu zirinka. Ezanyu zirinka hii ndamanyisima beji. Siriyo kompao. Hati ori anamushomesa wanyu. Tarashomesa hano. Kanyish. So guys, as you can see, I don't know if I'll be able to zoom in. That is the teacher's toilet, and it looks very well, very, very good. Hope you guys you can see it. Very, very good. You see, this is a modern latrine. I don't know if it's a toilet. I won't be going there. I don't know if it's a toilet or something, but it looks good. Very, very good. You guys you can see it. Very, very good. But now I want to know where these guys, for example, go to ease themselves. Okay, what I'm not happy with is, for a case of the teachers, everything is okay. You see the classrooms, they are their staff room, it has a window, it has a door, the latrine looks okay. But now for the case of our children that we send to schools, for them they don't have windows, they don't have doors. So when it rains, they are forced to go to a certain corner inside their inside their classroom until it rains. So when it finishes raining, they have to get back to normal. So aganamiza kumarakoresa. Hati, where do you get this water? Orumchakanga, how you orumchakanga? You are in P1. I want you in P1. So Hati, where do you get the water? So guys, this is the source of water. Kunabo mungara mwaza kurya kandi mwarwo mutoyi mwinamizi ko koresa mwarwo mutoyi
turaja turaronda chikopo tutano atuzukaro
aga kuri atoyi mwine yakantu nkaka tukariyo hatu warwo mutoyi urakora ki orija hano
oraza
office mpa era orija hano deno nabengaro bakuhe chikopo
otayamizo zunkayo
tubala kwikiriza ngo nabira kugabasha meso baranabira Hey. Kandi amizi go kunywa mugini.
Amizi go kunywa na go turagiye.
Ashaka ngagatekere. Gatekere. Hati muntu muganya gatekere. Kasibaje. Haimwe nagamba tegara barwaza. Nugo muranywa ataga muragiyanka aguba tiro mbaragiyanka. Njira yabelagwa. So njira yabetariho muragiyanka agumura teko mumpa. Murataha mugera. Kare mwebare mwe kandi atari ni class yakanga. Rero kubanza kuri neya ejeje kubanza kuri baby class mwine nafari. Baby then middle top. Kandi area P5 P6 na P7 birinka. Birukuriya. P6 na P7. Okay, webare barakweto. Emmanuel or P2. Kare webare kandi yo barakweto. Dereki, okay. Kare mwebare cyo mwiroko mugende mama. Okay, mwebare. So guys, now this is what happens. I don't know if you didn't understand the language. Now here, this is the source of water. I was asking them what this water is for because at least I moved around the school and I saw this is the only source of water I saw. I didn't see any other source of water because I will actually I saw some water taps somewhere, but there is no water. Now this is what happens. This is by telling the kids have just told me this source of water is for teachers. And again, if they want to eat lunch, actually I didn't ask them if they prepare for them lunch or they carry food from home, but for us we used to carry food from home. So what they do when it's time for lunch, they come and wash their hands from here before they eat. That is very nice, something very good. I was actually very happy that the school tries to mind about the hygiene of the pupils, because before a child eats, at least they must first wash their hands and eat. But now I ask them, now what happens after you have visited the toilet or the latrine? Do you have any source of water where you people wash your hands? They told me no. They said after visiting the latrine, probably which are somewhere like there, they have to come back, they have to come all the way from there, come here. The teachers will give them a cup or maybe a container. They fetch water from here, then they can probably wash their hands from here, okay? The teachers don't allow them to wash their hands from here. The teachers have to give them like a cup or maybe a small container where they can actually collect water from here, and then they wash their hands from, somewhere like here or somewhere. Nenchim, Moriji. So you can probably see that I'm using you, it's okay. So you can probably see, guys, our children, what they go through. But these small kids you see here, they will be that these are the tomorrow's ministers, tomorrow's presidents, tomorrow's big people. So if the government constructs, for example, such a school, I'm wondering how the government can fail to at least mind about our pupils, our children, say, at least let's fix for them windows, let's fix for them doors. They told me they have a piece of a train somewhere over there. Sorry guys, today you've not seen my face because of some reasons anyway. Because I know I've done this video, but I know most of the people won't be happy with the video. I understand that one, I'm okay. But I really want to appreciate, at least the government has, thought about us. Because if, for example, the government didn't construct such a school, I want you to listen to me, guys, very carefully. If the government, for example, didn't construct such a school, most of the children here, they would be home. They would not be actually getting education, because even a school like this, it helps millions and millions of people. It helps a lot of parents in this village. Much as it looks like this, okay, there are no windows, there are no doors, the classrooms, look so shagla bagra, but at least it is helping a lot of parents. So this is another water source, as you can see, but obviously I don't think there is even water. Let me try to open this, guys, and I see, oh god, no, guys, there is no water. There is no water. That one I have confirmed, there is no water. You can even see the tap itself, it's not working. So you don't expect water here. I also came and checked because they have a tank here. That's a water harvesting tank. I thought there would be water. I don't know if there is water here. Yeah, it seems there is water. I don't know how they get this water from here. I don't see any tap or something. You know, so I think those are the toilets. Let me try to zoom in so you guys can see. Those are the toilets, for example. I guess for the children, for the pupils. You can see how I don't want to go there. I respect people's privacy. I want to be going there, you know. But that's a classroom. That's a block. So, guys, this is what I'm trying to say. This is Africa that they will not show you on camera. Okay, this is Africa they will not show you on camera, especially with our Ugandan media or our African media houses. They will never show you this on camera. They'll go to the central business towns like Kampala, they'll go to Mbara, and they will show you those big schools which are owned by people, like individuals, and they will show you these are the schools we have in Uganda. And you who is there, you will think Uganda has the best schools, that the children actually are getting the best education, you know. But trust me, if you go to many villages in here, these are the type of schools we have, okay? I'm not saying the schools are not doing enough. These schools are actually doing enough. Pupils or the children will come to such schools. They get education from these schools, and then they will actually go and become the futures presidents, futures ministers. But what really hurts me is that even after people go through such schools and they get jobs in the government, they get money, they don't think and say, okay, let's go back to our school. At least we renovate. At least we can put windows, we can put doors for the small kids who are going through such, you know, who are going through such a school, you know. And even the government itself, okay, the government is trying, because you can imagine how many schools the government is funding in the whole country. A lot of schools. I don't have the statistics, but I'm pretty sure the government is funding so many schools in this country. Okay, so it can be, you know, kind of hard for the government to construct, you know, beautiful classrooms, you know, give everything to the school, for example, like this one. But, you know, the government itself should also be trying so hard to make at least it can do something about this, because most of the schools which are actually government owned and also government funded, this is how they look like, you know. Trust me, these are the schools we have. Not only here, you know, I'm just using this as a case study because that's where I am right now. But just look at this school. You see how the school looks like? There are even schools which are very worse than this one. And you know, I'm telling you, at least this one has furniture. This one has a roof. You know, at least the children have some water there, though it's not enough. You know, but there are some schools which don't even have such kind of structures. Very worse than this. You know, but our school, we send our children here. They come. You know, child leaves home in the morning, comes back in the evening. You know, they come here, they do whatever they do, they go back home. So I want to be putting a disclaimer. I'm not attacking anyone. I'm not saying the government has done nothing. The government actually has done everything. The government has done everything in its powers. But I think if we can actually, you know, do something more than this will make more sense. Instead of having such schools in the whole country, schools look like this, and then we are very happy, we celebrate, and we are saying, oh, we have schools, the government is having schools, the government is funding schools. And imagine, look at this. If it rains, you heard from that kid, he said when it rains, the teachers force them to go to a certain corner inside their classroom until it stops raining. So when it stops raining, they'll probably, you know, get back to normal and the classes resume. So that means during that time of raining, the classes the lessons won't go on. That is one. And as if that is not enough, our children are always at risk, because imagine, you know, it's always hard. And so I don't know if you guys know this, but this is a bell. This is what they use for communication. If, for example, it is lunchtime, they'll come and ring the bell. You know, this is what they use. And in most schools we have this. Even myself, I was a timekeeper. Way back in my primary, I was a timekeeper. So, you know, you get a stone and you say "pow" and it will make noise, so that the children will know it is probably lunchtime. They will know it's a break time, or it is evening time, so they have to go home, or maybe there is an assembly. You know. So this is the school, Chi Primary School. I've used this as a case study because that's where I am today. In Isingiro. Isingiro is one of the biggest districts, and actually we have a lot of people from Isingiro in the government, you know, prominent people, big people, you know. But I'm not really happy with the government. I went through such a school. I know what it means. I know the hustle. I know the struggles these children go through to attain education from this type of school. I understand everything. And most of the Ugandans, actually, if I may tell you, most of the Ugandans, for example, from these rural areas, they don't even earn $1 a day. They earn less than $1. They are below they are actually below the poverty line. I'm telling you. So if for example, a certain parent earns less than $1, you don't expect that parent to take their kid to a school where they pay, for example, $100 a term. That's around 660,000. You don't expect it. Okay. A term has around 3 to 4 months. So if, for example, a school pays 400,000, that's about 100 something US. A parent who earns less than $1 a day won't be able to bring their children here. So the only solution they have is to bring their kids to such schools which are government funded. So they will pay some small money like 50,000 or maybe 20,000, so that at least their kids can attain education. This is what the parents can manage, and I'm not blaming them. This is what their parents can manage. A parent can at least manage to bring their kid here so that they can attain, this kind of education, primary education. But now imagine, you see, which type of education will a student, will a people, and actually I must say, our children have brains. Yes, our children have brains. Because you see me, for example, like here, I went through such type of a school, but at least I'm doing something. I'm doing something for myself, and that's how most of the kids survive, and that's how most of the government schools be. So you cannot say, oh, listen now. That's how it is. You cannot blame anyone. You cannot blame the government. Maybe the government also has reasons why the schools look like this. You cannot blame the teachers, because the teachers themselves also, they are also paid by the government, so they have nothing to do about this probably. They are also paid less. Teachers have always been striking. They are complaining about the small salary they are being paid. So you can't blame anyone. You can't blame the kids who come here, because they also have no option. The only option they have is to come. And by the way, let me tell you something. Most of the kids, they walk kilometers. Me, when I was still in primary, I used to walk 4 kilometers from home to school, then 4 kilometers again from school to home. Those are 8 kilometers a day. Okay? So don't be surprised if I tell you that most of the kids say they can even walk 10 kilometers from where they live to this school to come and attain education. And they have to, again, walk 10 kilometers from here. And one thing I've realized, this is a hilly place. I'm actually very surprised, because it's a hilly place. So you can imagine a child from, for example, that side of the world there, and this is the only school they have, a government school, so they have to walk from down the hill there up to here to attain education, and they have to go back up there. Some of these kids, they come on when they have not eaten anything, on empty stomachs, because such schools, I'm telling you, these government schools, they are not providing lunch to the students. So I'm calling them students, but they're supposed to be called the pupils. They don't provide lunch to them. As a parent, you must make sure that before your parent leaves home, you pack for them food, what they will eat at school. Do you know there are even some parents who sleep hungry? They don't even have something to cook. So if a parent has nothing to prepare for supper, you expect that parent to provide something in the morning for the kid to come with at school here. That means the kid will leave home, come here, spend the whole day hungry, and they go back in the evening. You can imagine that's what you go through. But I know. I've went through this, so I understand it is not so hard. It is not so hard for the students or for these small kids to go through this. It is something okay. We understand it is very fine. It has now started being normal. Francis guy, now it has started being normal. It's normal. Now we see this as normal. Though it is not supposed to be normal, but sometimes we take things to be normal when actually they're not supposed to be normal. But this is what we have. Okay, I hope you guys, I'm gonna be ending this video from here. I didn't plan to make a longer video, but I'm so touched. I'm very, very, very touched. When I reached here, my memory went back to those days when I was in primary. I started reflecting on the life I went through. I thought about a kid who walks 10 kilometers from where they live up to here to study and go back. Such classes which have no doors, which have no windows. When it rains, these kids actually told to go to. So when it rains, they are told to, fidget themselves in a corner somewhere there until it rains, until it stops raining. you know, so the situation is quite alarming. But if, for example, you ask a parent who lives here, they will tell you, oh, that's normal, we are used. Most of the schools, even they don't have the furniture, they don't have where the kids will sit or something. So guys, I have to stop from here. That's the end of the video. Today I was in Isingiro. The school is called the Cheap Primary School. I've used this as a case study. So I guess if you went through this school, please don't misunderstand me. Don't think I have any negative vibe about the school. But just because I was visiting here, and when I stepped here, I really developed a flashback of what I went through during those days. So guys, my name is Dedan. I'm from Uganda, and this is my YouTube channel. Please kindly subscribe. I want you to subscribe. I don't know if I will be, let me see if I can show my face to you guys. So guys, kindly subscribe to my channel, okay? My name is Dedan from Uganda, and I'm always giving you, positive videos and also giving you positive energy, guys. I want to be seeing you in the next video. Today I was in Isingiro, maybe tomorrow I will be somewhere, I don't know where I always flow with the vibe, okay? But kindly subscribe, guys. Go to the comment section, you can say something about this video, and let's meet on the next video.